I don't care if you young, old, just coming out, coming back out. The record. If you ain't got that record, always about the record. Welcome to the Tim King Live Show, March 9th, 2018. First appearance guest we have is Bronze Nazareth out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. What's up, my brother?
What's up, bro?
Everything good?
Here, man.
Yes,
Everything
man.
good.
It's an honor to have you here, my first guest.
You,
you know, artist, producer, Bronze Nazareth, Wu-Tang production. You came from the Wu-Tang production, or you had your own production, or how that went?
I started out, my own way or whatever, but big fan of the Wu, obviously.
Okay,
and,
okay. How did you get in contact with the Wu? Because I remember you from back in the days, but we're gonna talk about that later on. Tell your story.
What it was I was doing beats or whatever, banging them out, and the internet was just flourishing at that point. So I threw some shit online, and
what year was this? Give the people the year.
This was 98.
Okay. Early internet for the hood.
Early shit.
Early internet for the hood. Yeah.
This cat hit me in the email named Silver Rings.
Okay, Silver Rings overseas. Shout out to Silver Rings on that album. 3 million, I heard. 3 million on that.
Silver. So he was just like, I fuck with your beats, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's kind of the shit, the way I want to go. But we just kept in contact, and then, I kept coming with shit. And so he was just like, I got to get you to RZA.
Okay.
So, from that point on, he'd be like, RZA's in town in New York, such and such date. Go Polly. I tell him you trying to come through or whatever. And then, I would go. He gave me the address back when
the 36 Chambers was on 37th Street.
37th Street, yeah.
Oh, correct,
so,
facts.
Came through there, and, God willing, they threw me up in there. I think Ninth Prince pulled me up at first.
Yeah, I remember you because I used to go to the studio sessions. This is a time around about, I believe it was early millennium, like 2000.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I received a compact disc of you, matter of fact. I came to the studio one time and you was giving out discs to the artists, Killer Army, Sons of Man, Royal Fan, Brooklyn Zoo, Sugar Bang Bang, CCF at the time. And you was a humble brother. You still is humble. You was in the studio. And matter of fact, I think who gave me your disc? Was it Ninth Prince or Choco? I think it was one of the Choco or Night Prince. I had got the disc, went home, listened to it. I was like, yeah, you got some heat at the time, but I couldn't get no contact on it because it just said Bronze Nazareth on I think it was on the CD. And I think I called Choco, and I was like, yo, who's that guy? And I was in the studio tonight. He got some heat. He was like, oh man, you got to get in contact with. I think he said Night Prince at the time, and me and Night was chopping it up, and then I don't know how Dreddy Kruger got involved, but Dreddy Kruger gave me some more beats. So I was like, yo, I met him in the studio and you was telling me about this new producer, so okay, must be the new guy. So tell me the story about how you met Dreddy Kruger from Think Differently.
So I think Dreddy was just one of the cats I bumped into, just circulating around 36. I was doing some stuff for, I think, Killer Army. And because I used to even go back to Steubenville with Fourth.
Wow, in Ohio.
Yeah, I used to go to Ohio.
Okay.
Straight
Shout out to
Michigan.
Steubenville, Ohio.
Fourth
The cabins out there, Fourth
Legendary.
Disciple. We're gonna get him on the show too.
Yeah, for sure. So I was just bumping around at 36, and Dreddy, he was just into what I was doing. And then I just remember I was back home Detroit, and Dreddy called me out the blue. Was like, yo, I'm working on this Wu-Tang meets the indie culture, boom, boom, boom. And he flew me out, and that was.
This is 2005, people.
Yeah, 05.
04. Okay, 04. Yeah, 05 it dropped. Yeah.
And so that was it right there, because I think I was able to grab a lot of just indie fans. And the
what label was that?
That was Baby Grand.
Baby Grand, Chuck. Shout out to Chuck. So from that was your first debut as a producer on that project.
Yeah.
Okay, and from there, that sprung you off to your solo, or you had to do more work?
Baby Grand, I think that indie culture was so successful on the indie level. It was like independent album of the year.
Yeah, charts, billboards, and all that. Yeah.
So I think off the strength of that, it was like, yo, let's see what this kid got on the record deal. So banged the record deal, and then 06 came out with Great Migration.
Yeah, that was a great album. I happened to be on that album.
Yes,
More to
sir.
go.
Yes, sir.
That was a great one right there. That was a banger right there.
That's in the history books.
Yeah, right there. So how's growing up in Grand Rapids, Michigan? Who was your influences as far as music-wise, like artist-wise, music-wise?
Growing up in G-Rap, it's It's a little different, man. Detroit and G-Rap is it's like two different worlds. Grand Rapids is kind of West Michigan, where
That's like the motor city?
Detroit is. Detroit,
Okay, all
Grand
right.
Rapids is on the other side. So
Okay, what is it,
Grand
south
Rapids,
on the other side, north, what?
It's the west.
Okay,
Yep,
the west,
Yep, West
okay.
Michigan. So in
Okay.
West Michigan, it's a little slower or whatever. And so, growing up there, it ain't too different from any other city,
Okay.
We grew up, I grew up
Poverty,
in a time
crime.
where, it was a lot of gang stuff going
Okay.
on, vice lords, GDs.
Okay.
So that kind of ate up my high school, but I was always doing music.
Okay.
So,
Well, you had a family member that introduced you to music, or you just happened to have a record player in the
You know
living
what it
room?
was? It was like a mentor, man. I used to go to my homeboy. His name's D the Rebel. Shout out D the Rebel, Gun Rule Forever. And he showed me how to work the ASR 10. Because we was just rapping over other people's instrumentals, you know what I'm saying? Just young, we started. My first tape was Fat Boys Are Back. So
Wow.
I've been on hip hop since then, and then it was like, yo, how can we create our own?
So this was in the studio, or this was just
This was at the crib,
at the
like
crib.
in the
Okay,
basement,
Paul's
in the
tapes.
lunchroom. You know what I mean?
Okay,
Yeah, Paul's
okay.
tapes, exactly.
Paul's tapes.
Exactly.
You know, I come from that era.
Well, my man.
You know what I'm saying?
So yeah, I started doing that. But then he was like, yo, these kids, they writing. They got talent. It was me, Kevlar, my bro June.
R.I.P.
Mega,
Kevlar,
you know
man.
what I'm saying? Forever. And so from there, he showed me how to do the ASR 10.
Nice,
And I'm
nice.
like, yo, okay, so now I can make my own music to rhyme on. That's the spark I needed,
the ASR 10 is your first piece
My
of
first
equipment
piece.
that you ever did music on, sample or played?
Absolutely, sample and play. Yep.
Okay.
First piece.
Do you still use the
I
ASR 10?
still use it. I still use
Okay.
it. Like we was talking earlier, it's got that muddy sound to it still.
Yeah,
'Cause it's
the
from
RZA
analog
used the
days, you know what
ASR,
I'm
the
saying?
Fourth used the ASR,
Yeah,
Rakim
so-
was using the ASR. It's a great machine. A lot of hits was made off of that.
Absolutely, man. So that sparked my whole production being. You know what I mean?
So name some of the people that you produced for in the industry.
Oh, RZA, of course.
Bonk.
Raekwon.
Bonk, bonk.
Cool G.
Bonk,
Rock
bonk.
Marciano. My
Oh,
bro
my
Willie
God.
the Kid.
Woo, Willie.
You know what I'm saying? It's a good track record out there, man.
Okay,
a
that's
lot
nice,
of,
that's nice.
underground heavyweights, so.
So as a producer, how do you feel about playing music over than sampling?
I'm in between on it. I feel like if you can do it to the point where it's quality, that's good. But some people can't play, or the keyboard that they're working with don't sound authentic enough
Okay.
to kind of touch the samples. You know what I mean?
So what made you analyze the difference? Because, you had to go through some type of mistakes to find that out. A lot of people just don't know that.
It's
far
the
as
sound,
producers.
man. It's the sound. Like a real violin, you get a session musician, real violin, you can't touch it with a keyboard violin. You know what I mean?
Okay, I see what
So
you're saying.
I'm high into the quality of shit. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
if it's low quality, get it out of here, man.
How do you feel about sample clearance? Do you feel if you take a sample from a known record and you switch it over, do you feel it's your material now, or do you still give credit to where it come from?
It's mine, man.
Okay. Okay.
Listen, if you can make a beat out of something and they can't tell,
Okay.
then you pretty much made it out of the organic.
But do you give that person that credit where you get it from, or do you just say, I don't want nobody to know?
Both.
Okay.
If it's large enough, sometimes.
You ever had that experience?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, did they holler at you? Did they like, yo, we know what you did, you try to hide it, you didn't give us some
for
credit?
sure.
Blah, blah, lawyers is on you?
Yeah, one particular company came at me like, yo, we own the rights to this thing you sampled on this joint, and we want all your accountants for it, and give us the info or whatever. So
Okay. Did y'all settle out of court, or what? Y'all still going back and
yeah,
forth?
we settled it out of court. Basically I told them, no, I ain't make a mint off of it. So what I made off of it, you get what percentage do you want? And they was
Okay.
cool about it, man. Now I'm not saying somebody else might go hard on you, but
Okay.
they was cool about it, man. They was like, yo, we just want 50% of the publishing, and
Okay.
and make sure that we got some paperwork signed to reflect that. So they was cool about it, man.
So
I think
how do you feel about when you in a session? Like, what's a Bronze Nazareth session like? Do you have a closed session, or do you have your crew there? Do you have your family there? How your environment is like when you go to a session, like a 12-hour block for a Bronze Nazareth session?
that's like it go through phases, man. It's
Okay.
like you get in there sometimes. I'm usually early the first motherfucker in there.
Okay,
so-
that's good. You're paying for it.
So
You
I'm
gotta
in
be
there
there.
and I'm laying stuff down, making sure the beat is broke down properly, tracked out, this, that, and the other, so that when people can get there, they can go in. I usually like to have people, yo, write your stuff. Yeah, I understand artists want to write in the studio too. I'm fine with that. But if you do write at home and you got the beat already, come with that boy ready. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So we can mash it out. But I like a little bit of a party environment.
Okay.
For some reason, I feel like I'm focused amongst the chaos. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I like a lot going on around me. You know?
So you like organized confusion, like in
Yeah,
that
yeah,
way.
yeah.
Okay, that's great. That's great.
It pushes me.
So, far as producing for the RZA at the time, was this a childhood dream or just happened to run across the RZA?
I mean, it was kind of both because just as a young guy, my high school or whatever was filled with Wu-Tang. I remember we skipped school to go get Wu Forever.
Oh, so you went to the Wu University, basically?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. You know what I mean? So
I did too.
I didn't like chase like, oh, I got to get with Wu-Tang. It just fell there, bro.
Okay.
And it happened to be.
What's meant is meant.
Yeah, it was.
Especially coming out of Grand Rapids,
right.
Wu-Tang is
right.
like 5-borough base.
Yeah.
Big up to Shaolin, Staten Island,
what I mean?
Brooklyn home,
and
to have a producer with that same sound or similar sound as the Wu-Tang, the founders of that sonic sound, to come out of Grand Rapids, which is not too far from Hitsville. Right, correct.
Right.
Where soul music really come from. So you was raised around soul music,
absolutely. Yeah. Well, coming up,
Smokey Robinson probably walking
Teddy
down the block
P,
from you or something.
Smokey,
Woo!
you know what I'm saying, the Vandellas.
Woo!
Like people don't understand. Soul back then was like hip hop. Now you had the people that's on the mainstream and all that, but then you got a whole underground of soul singers you never heard of, like. There's this group called the Brothers of Soul from Detroit.
Okay.
Some of the illest samples on their albums.
Was it like a band?
Never heard of them.
It was a band,
just an old
a local
soul
band?
group, 4 brothers. Crazy, old soul group. But you find stuff like that in the underground, and that's that soul,
So what's your production of your weapon production like you said the ASR earlier? So what was your equipment type?
I bop around with the ASR because I still like to play the keys and shit.
Okay.
But I dabble with the MPC. I've done a few on that. I've been getting into the machine lately. I like machine.
Okay.
That splice option is crazy. It's kind of like cheating though, because you could throw the song in there and be like, yo, chop it in 132s.
You're saving time.
Boom, boom, boom. It is. You're saving time.
You're saving time. Where back in the days, time was everything.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't even mess up. Basically,
yeah, you remember the reels?
Yeah, the reels. You couldn't even mess
down.
up. The 4, 5, 6 Ampex reel, you couldn't even mess up. So right now, you can mess up and it still sound hot.
Yeah, go right back.
A lot of people don't even know.
Fix it, whatever.
So far as the equipment, the MP you said you was working with. You still mess with the MP? Okay.
The MP.
Do you like the original format of the MP or the program of the MP? Is it the same? I don't know because
It's pretty
I'm not
similar.
a producer.
I like the program. That's my thing. I can play whatever, but I'll program the hell out of some shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm a program monster. I can get it to go where I want it to go. However, but yeah, I love to bang on them pads, but I like the new one.
So, as far as your production, I see a couple of years ago you had got a Samsung commercial for your production. That's big, man.
Yeah, I did the Samsung S6 commercial.
Yeah,
when they
early in the game.
Banged it on
big
the
check.
World Cup, banged
big
it on
check.
the NBA Finals.
Yeah, that was big. That was big.
Yeah, brother ate good off of that. So,
that was lovely.
That was big, man. That's what artists like me strive for because, everybody knows people don't buy music like they used to. They just go stream it, and they eating us alive on the streams. They ain't paying us nothing what we were. So to get some licensing, you know what I'm saying, deals like that is definitely needed for independents like me, All
right, so could you break down the producer's system of getting paid, but basically like you said, he's not paying nobody no more. So how you surviving,
I mean, I still sell beats hand to hand. Somebody come to me, but it's on real business. It's a lot of goofy.
So it's
dudes,
like different levels. So you got you got can I say I like to say you have the internet level, then you have the indie artists, then you have the newcomers, then you have your A-list. Then you have your seasoned vets. So you got a nice little category of production that you can spread out.
For sure.
So when you say the goofiness, that's more of on the internet side or the up and comers?
Yeah, absolutely. The internet and the up and coming side. You're an artist too, and left people want something free over here and over there, and I'm like, bro.
But do you space it out? Do you be like, I do something free on the arm,
Absolutely.
but I'm gonna charge in this lane something.
Yeah.
But I want a percentage in this world from an A-list artist, or I want money from this indie artist because I know he has it. Well, like, how do you do that?
Yeah, I split it up. Like it's to me, it's a matter of importance. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I want the money, of course, man.
Of
Everybody
course,
want
we
to get
do.
paid, but
yes, a
if
reward
it's no
system.
money, if it's no money, but say it's an artist like Raekwon.
Okay.
Or artists like, whoever, Jay-Z, whoever. Of course, go ahead, take that. I don't need nothing for it. Just let me eat off the royalties.
In the publishing.
Let me get my mechanicals and all that. Yeah.
So you rather not charge a known artist who has millions of dollars than a artist that's say semi been in the game, he got a little bread, and you'll charge him, but you want to give a artist that's already...
No, I wouldn't say it's like that. I always work with dudes that's coming up in the game. Like, you can say your price, but everybody knows everything is negotiable. You know what I mean?
True.
So a brother might come to me, like, for instance, I sold this cat in Ohio a beat. It was much below my price, but I gave it to him for 15.
Okay.
But he said, yo, I'm going to hook you up with a show in Albany and a show in Buffalo and one in Cincinnati. So I'm like, okay,
it works out in your favor.
That's a whole nother triangle for me to get my money from. So it's like that all the time.
So it's like a bartering system in this game right now.
Exactly, bro, exactly.
Okay.
You get what's going to help you as an artist, whether that be money, because it's a lot of forms of payment. You might pay me in promo, you know what I'm saying?
Nice.
Shit like that. So
you ever had somebody try to play you on a crypto dollar, on like a Bitcoin or...
Not yet, but I'm into that though. I know that's kind of the future of things, and as long as it stays stable. I've seen artists get paid with their albums off of BitPay, which they can send in Bitcoin. So I'm looking at that right now. You know what I mean? So open up all doors to get that income.
So digital revenue, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Either way, bring that money.
Any tours, any shows coming up soon?
Yeah, we're working on a tour in Europe.
Okay.
We're also working on one in Europe. But,
Bronze Nazareth, Timbo King, you know that.
Pick that up. But so we got Europe popping. I got a East Coast tour coming with I think Elder Sensei, Sadat X, and Ed O.G.
Nice,
I'm jumping on that with them. I think that's July, and we keep it cranking from there. I'm a big proponent of going and getting your own shows.
So you travel overseas too, abroad?
Yeah, absolutely.
So any places overseas that you love hip hop? They love Bronze Nazareth?
Lyon, France, man.
France, oh yeah,
when I
France.
we pulled.
Shout out to France.
Yo, Leon, what's up, yo? So we pulled out there. We got out the airport. Promoter picked us up. First place he took us to, they had this huge wall. The brothers made a big mural.
While you was there?
On the wall, before we came.
Okay.
With the Bronze Nazareth name and all that. I was blown away. And then the crowd that night, it was just electric, man. It was crazy. It was like 300 people or something like that.
Do you think international countries save hip hop, real hip hop, than America?
Man, I do because just look at the trends. You'll see a lot of artists. You're like, I'll never see him do no shows over here, this and that. But then you look, he been in France, Germany, UK, Poland, Czechoslovakia, all over. And me personally, more so than America, when you throw your booking agent at them or throw someone out there, they're coming back with serious stuff. As to where, I don't know what it is with the U.S., but it's like flash in the pan. If you're not the hottest of hot, they really not trying to book you here. So I do. I think Europe has kind of a different look at hip hop that we do. You know what I'm saying? It's not so popcorn. It's not so glitzy. Don't get me wrong. There's that too over there, but
but their focus is hip hop.
It is. It's just a little more sensible. Yeah, quality.
Okay. Quality hip hop that we was raised off and born and raised off. So there you have it, Tim King Live Show. So what do you have to tell a new up-and-coming producer in this game where they're not trying to pay new artists, new producers, nothing really? And what you got to tell the new producer coming up?
It's all about do it yourself at this point. You can't rely on nobody to do nothing for you. Like I think one of the biggest mistakes I made when I was coming up, even though RZA put the W for my use or whatever, I thought, I was gonna sign in, and it's like, wow.
So you never signed.
Everything come on.
You never signed.
Everything come on.
You was like an independent producer with the production.
No,
you was signed to the production?
Yeah, I signed with RZA for a number of years, and then, but it was just like, I mean, you know how it go when as I expected, like, yo, when I come, they gonna be calling, yo, come get on this, yo, come jump on that, and I realized, like, nah, it ain't the way. You gotta go, you gotta be around and go get it yourself, you know.
Okay. Did you have to ever submit music to one of the 9 Borns of Wu-Tang or the Wu affiliates?
Yeah, plenty of times.
Okay.
I mean, I turned stuff into Old Dirty.
Nice.
Like it was like August before he passed. I was in 36. Gave the Dirty. Dex got a bunch of my stuff. Ghost, I know, had a bunch of my stuff. I had stuff on like 3 or 4 Ghost albums, but then later on it was like, oh, we can't clear them or whatever.
Oh, do the samples.
Yeah. So, of course, Ray.
How do you feel about artists using your productions that's not cleared and putting it on projects that's not going to be so big? Like they'll put it on a mixtape.
Like without permission type of just taking the flow. I mean, I'm okay with it. What I hate is I'm detailed. So I hate when a dude take your joint and he'll say, "Oh, produced by Bronze Nazareth," like I produced it for him.
Okay.
Because you got some dudes just fraud and like, "Yo, this is produced by," but some dudes will be like, "Yo, I got this beat from." You know what I'm saying? I'm better when you just tell me where it came from.
Like a second-hand producer?
Yeah,
like a second-party producer.
Kind of like source. So where's your source from? You know what I mean?
Okay.
Give me your sources. Don't say like, yo, Bronze made this beat, like I made it for you. And
like
you
you tailor-made it from the person.
Right. Like we got together and did it. That's what I hate. But other than that, I realize, hip-hop is universal. People get feelings to this music, man.
Yeah,
sometimes I've done it myself. I jump on other people's joints. I had mixtapes. When you feel a beat, you feel that shit. So I ain't too mad at that, but I just don't like when they go around like, oh, he made this for me, type of produced by Bronze. Like I had dudes take a whole album worth of stuff, put out a whole mixtape of just my beats. And it's on there, produced by Bronze Nazareth. It's like, yo, I don't
like
even
they made
know
it for
you. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that difference right there is it for me.
So what's your Twitter, your Facebook, your social media handle?
It's easy. At bronzenazareth.com, NAZARETH, pretty easy to find.
I see you got the Wiseman in the studio, one of the partners with you.
Yeah, I got my bro, June Mega. Come on, sit with us, bro. My bro, June Mega from the Wiseman. We've been
shout out to the Wiseman. R.I.P. Kevlar 7.
R.I.P. K7, free salute.
Yo,
tell the people who you is, brother.
June Mega, Wiseman.
Bong.
You know what I'm saying? Representing with my nigga Bronze, man. Been doing this thing, 20 years with my man. So,
Okay. So how does it feel to be a part of, like you said, childhood friendship group?
Oh, man, it's been beautiful, man. I actually see my bro starting out, just something that we thought was a game, was just fun to actually take it to a whole nother level to where it's legendary now, you know what I mean? It's beautiful, man.
All right, did you ever have any dreams of looking at it like, well, if Bronze make it, we're going to be there to support Bronze no matter what?
That's always been the key, It's like, if I made it and he didn't, he'd be cheerleading, just like if he making out that I'm still cheerleading. It's the same thing, It's my brother from another mother, so I'm there as a support system. So when he fall, I'm here to push him back up.
Okay.
Go, bro, I got you.
Okay.
Don't worry.
You produce yourself?
I'm on that. My Bronze is trying to teach me that I'm learning and shit, but it's mainly MCing right now.
Okay. So you're in the trenches.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so you're going to be on the upcoming projects of Bronze?
Of course, man. Me and Bronze got a project coming out. I got like 3 or 4 projects coming out. I mean, Black Day is busy, brother. We busy.
Okay. So y'all had a couple of shows while y'all was in New York here?
Yeah. We rocked at Delaney.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? That was dope.
That was DJ Toshi, right?
Yeah.
Yo, shouts to DJ Toshi's Classic Storm Radio.
Sunez, what up, bro?
My brother.
Okay.
Man, he been writing about us for years and shit. Yeah. So it's been. I love New York, man. This is like my favorite city.
Okay, what's the next stop for Bronze Nazareth and the Wiseman?
Where they want us to go, bro.
I mean, we go wherever they want us, but
if they want us overseas, we there.
Okay.
Y'all want us back in New York, we here. So it's,
Yeah, we got
any soundtracks, any movies, scores, commercials, any new joints coming?
We trying to get on all of it, brother.
Okay.
Yeah. I got a new solo coming. It's called "If You're Worried, You Should Be." You know what I'm saying? Kind of like,
nice.
I've been as far as a solo artist, I've been.
School of the Blind and all that, Great Migration, all that is.
Yeah, I put some bangs out there. So.
Oh man.
But when Kev passed, it took me a minute, man. That was 2014, and I didn't do no solo work since. Like my album came out a month before he passed, and so like after he passed, I was so in my head was just so messed up. I really couldn't sit down and concentrate on no solo stuff. I was doing, old people beats and mixes and shit. I was able to handle that. But as far as like getting down and creating, it was like I had a block till I kind of came out that storm a little bit. So like just this past 2017 and early 18, I've been the creativeness is back, and it's I feel refreshed. I feel like a good reset. So banging them hard, man.
Would you do production battling? Would you do a seminar of battling producers with your production? Because when I hear your production, I do hear that type of battle cry in your, in your production.
I've done a few, and
Oh yeah?
Yeah, bang them out, man.
Okay, that's what it's called, bang them out?
Yeah, yep.
Okay, what is that in Michigan?
Some shit we did in Michigan, and I also did we did a back and forth beat set with Apollo Brown.
Apollo Brown?
Yeah.
Well, y'all went back and forth?
Yeah.
Wow, I gotta see that right there, man.
Yep.
Well, y'all went for baseline or drums for drums,
it was
or
just
what?
banging the banger, you know what I mean?
Banging the banger.
Yep, mash to mash.
So who won? Oh, Bronze Nazareth?
Yeah.
Okay. I love Apollo Brown.
But
Got
that
that
I got a
heat.
history with Apollo. We came up together, and
What, it was a close one? What? Who was the judges?
it
Like
was
the
a
people?
crowd.
Okay.
I had the louder cheer,
Okay.
But Apollo definitely a talented dude, man. We came
Okay.
up together. I gave him a lot of production secrets.
Okay.
We was roommates for a number of years.
My
so.
peoples from VA always talk about Apollo Brown from Wu Fu Movement Group. And he always, the brother Naj, he always talk about Apollo Brown.
Nice.
And he was like, yo, that's Bronze Boy. That's Bronze Boy. He always talk about him and shit like that. So,
He's a guy that talented dude, man. He deserves his shine,
Okay.
Yeah, we go back to high school though. Yeah.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Okay,
Play football together, all that.
Nice.
Yeah.
So from that same area, you have a lot of dark men is from that area too, right?
Yeah.
And Willie the Kid also?
Both our brothers, yeah.
Okay, so Michigan has this, what I'm saying, Grand Rapids, and Floyd Mayweather is from that
Yes,
area
sir.
too, right?
Yep,
So,
yep.
oh man, do Floyd come around? Do you know Floyd? You met Floyd before?
Yeah, we went to the same
You know
high
him
school.
personally?
Yep.
I know him personally. I know his grandmama, his mom know my people.
Yep. And then him and Kev was in the same classes too.
Get outta here.
Yeah, so even when we go back and when Kev was around, we would see him. We were like, "What's up, Kev?" Yeah.
So you know Floyd personally too?
Me? Not me. I don't really know him.
Yeah?
Good dude, bro. Good brother.
Yeah. Does he know about Bronze Nazareth music?
Yeah, he knows about us. We submitted some stuff to him before. If you remember, he had a label for a minute.
Oh yeah, that's
It was
right.
just, it was just difference in styles or whatever. He wasn't
Okay.
really- So, but yeah, Grand Rapids got. A
I
nice
would
little
love to
history.
hear Floyd Mayweather come out on the Bronze Nazareth track.
Oh, that'd be nasty,
You know,
right?
representing Grand Rapids.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
That'll be a good look.
yeah.
Maybe we could have that
Yeah.
done. Tim King Live Show can get that done. You know what
That's for
I'm
the
saying?
city right there.
That'll be
Yes, sir.
definitely
Gun
big
roll.
up for the city. So, man, it's an honor and a privilege
likewise.
to have Bronze Nazareth and the Wise Men
Thank you, sir.
first guest
Thank you.
on the production side for the Tim King Live Show. Shout out to Sunny Days Media, my executive producer. Shout out to Agent, executive assistant. We here, man. Out there in TV world. Thank you for tuning in. RIP BIG, March 9th, 2018. It's the Tim King Live Show. I don't care if you young, old, just coming out, coming back out. The record. If you ain't got that record, always about the record. At 21, I admit I was a savage until I got knowledge of self mathematics.